Hey there, Bulldog fans, and welcome into another exciting episode of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm your host, Mark Minner. Coming up on today's show, the volleyball team is coming off of a great sweep over a pair of league rivals. Both the men's and women's soccer programs beat Green Bay in the Butler Bowl on Sunday. And we will welcome our panel back to discuss all things you want to know about Butler athletics. But first, the football team is looking to remain undefeated when they host San Diego for homecoming this Saturday. They are now 4-0 after opening up Pioneer League play in exciting fashion with a huge 28-21 victory over Morehead State. Butler fell behind quickly 21-0 less than 10 minutes into the game and was held scoreless for the rest of the first half. But in the second, the Dogs exploded, scoring 21 unanswered points to tie the game up at the end of regulation. In overtime, sophomore quarterback Andrew Huck connected with junior wideout Eddie McHale for a 22-yard touchdown pass that secured the emotional victory. Huck was also named Pioneer Football League Offensive Player of the Week. He threw for 208 yards, completing 26 of his 49 passes and tossing 4 touchdowns. This was the third time in the last 4 weeks that Huck was given the honor. The volleyball team is sitting atop the Horizon League following a dominant weekend with decisive wins over 2 tough league opponents. Friday night, Cleveland State came into Hinkle Fieldhouse and quickly fell down in the first 2 sets. But the Bulldogs let them back in the game by giving up the third and fourth set. Butler eventually prevailed in the 5th set with a score of 15-13. On Saturday afternoon, it was a much different story. The Bulldogs were clear aggressors for the whole match and swept the first 3 sets to remain undefeated in the Horizon League. For more on the volleyball team, here's Blitz's Caroline Rogers.
Last Friday, the volleyball team faced Cleveland State for the second conference matchup of the season. They won 3-2, which is unusual because every time the Bulldogs have won this season, it has been in 3 straight games. They have not gone all 5 games in a match this season.
You know, I think early on we did well. We get people and close them out. Cleveland State's a tough team, though, to close out because they counter very well. So they make adjustments constantly through that match, and we have to keep – it's just a chess match, back and forth. So I think that's why it went 5, but more than that, we got the points when we needed them at the end.
The Bulldogs also faced Wright State for their 3rd conference match on the 26th, winning 3-0.
I think what we did tonight is good momentum for us, definitely for that match tomorrow. We were excited to be at home, so that certainly helps, and the crowd was good for us. But that momentum, just being 2-0 right now, will be good for us going into our next conference match.
The Bulldogs worked exceptionally well defensively against Cleveland State, their coach says, due to working hard in practice.
Our middles worked hard in practice this week, and they gave us what we needed. They gave us enough to really pull that win out. So blocking was just huge for us. I mean, we had 18 blocks tonight, and that's phenomenal no matter who you're playing.
So October 2nd, and back home in Hinkle Fieldhouse October 6th against Alabama A&M. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Caroline Rogers.
If the league opener is any indication for how the women's soccer team will be in the Horizon League this season, then you can expect great things. Butler dominated Green Bay on Sunday in the Butler Bowl with a final of 3-0. Senior Molly Kruger was the star of the game, scoring 2 of the 3 goals for the Dogs. Kruger had only 1 goal so far this season, but this was the 3rd time that she has a multi-goal match in a Butler uniform. Lindsey Fox notched the other goal and an assist as the Bulldogs moved to 5-7 overall. And on Friday, we'll play host to last year's league champion Milwaukee. This Friday will also be the BU's Breast Cancer Awareness Day. It's always exciting to score your first collegiate goal for any soccer player, but for freshman Julian Cardona, it couldn't have come at a better time. His goal in the 86th minute gave Butler the 2-1 lead that would ultimately be the final score. For more on the match, here's Blitz's Luke Wilkening.
Following a dominating win by the Butler women's soccer team, the men's team faced a daunting task: defeat unbeaten league rival Green Bay. The game was deadlocked at 0-0 with both teams playing lockdown defense. Butler had the 8-3 shots on goal advantage in the first half, but it wouldn't be until the second that they would find the back of the net. Freshman Tyler Pollock broke the ice with this header, and fellow freshman Julian Cardona scored the game-winning goal as the Bulldogs went on to win 2-1. Butler goalie Nick Hedgeman made some key saves in the last 5 minutes to cement the win for the Dogs. Next up, the team travels to Chicago to face off against Loyola. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Luke Wilkening.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by our panel in studio to touch on some of the big topics surrounding Butler sports. Stay with us on the Bulldog Blitz.